So, stop the presses. This is the first ever Boomer and Millennial breaking news, breaking sports news. We had to do this in the middle of editing our show for Thanksgiving, being out there with Armondi and Nia and beautiful Denver. But, man, it's been so much happening in college football that we just had to add this little bit.
Yeah. What a time to be alive, What a time to be alive. Okay. So hey.
Well, you can,
All right. So we had some championship games going on.
Right.
Okay.
But before we
do
that, let's just say that we initially we talked about the comeback that happened with Georgia Tech. Unbelievable. 8 overtimes.
Never
I went to bed. I didn't know anything. What was going on?
Hey, I checked the score when I woke up. I was like, oh, we lost. We lost before going to bed. Oh, well, woke up to quite a surprise.
Dogs pulled it off. And, they were losing by so much at one point.
Yeah, it was like
I just looked at the score and then I said, I wasn't watching the game, and I just went to bed. And who knew? 8 overtimes later, the Dogs win. They go to number 5, and then last night, oh
mercy.
My goodness.
So look, we had the SEC Championship. Georgia versus Texas, the rematch. Now Texas, chip on their shoulder. Georgia earlier on in the season came to Austin, whooped up on them 15-30.
Yes.
The defense completely embarrassed the starting quarterback, the backup quarterback, and then the starting quarterback yet again.
Arch Manning, Hewer, both of them.
Listen, okay, didn't matter who you had out there throwing the ball. Okay,
right.
But last night we witnessed, dare I say, first and foremost, that was terrible football on both ends for both teams.
Wasn't pretty.
It was when they talk about a dog fight, that's no pun intended, that is exactly what it was. Okay. Early on, first half, low scoring game, 6-3. We try to make something happen right before. Let's just get this out of the way. We try to make something happen right before we get the ball back in the second half. My absolute favorite Bulldog of all time, and I say that very sarcastically for those of you who cannot tell, Carson Beck, in all of his infinite wisdom, with 1 second left, snaps the ball. Now, mind you, look, you got 1 second, so this is a Hail Mary attempt. We're down by 3. It's 3-6. It's not even that crucial.
You're not even putting yourself in a position for a field goal.
Okay, we're so far away. We're so far away, right? You got 1 second. There's only one thing to do, right? And that's just you either get the ball out in a reasonable amount of time, maybe you just throw it away because how often do Hail Marys really work? And, just to end the first half, what are we talking about? And what does Carson Beck decide to do? After seeing that there's nobody to throw to for at least 4 seconds. You got time, right? You got time to make a decision. He decides to still try to throw the ball. And what happens? He gets sacked. They pass rush naturally, right? And while in the throwing motion, his arm is cocked all the way back, right? What do? They hit him in the arm, around the elbow to the shoulder. I'm going to be honest. He gets hit. He's on the ground, okay, not getting up right away, so we know it's an injury. I thought his shoulder popped out of socket. I'm like, it's got to be. The way he got hit and where his arm was, there's no way, turns out he injures his elbow somehow, maybe the inside, maybe the ditch of the elbow.
That's where they had the ice on it, yeah.
Right.
He couldn't even grip a football,
Couldn't even grip a football. What does this mean? No starting quarterback for the second half. Now we can talk about the unsung hero, okay? Because it's not Carson Beck. Carson Beck did nothing, okay? Maybe not nothing, but in comes Gunnar Stockton, okay? The backup quarterback, which from my understanding only got a few reps in one game this season. one game, okay? And it was, earlier on in the season, right? Gunner comes out gunning. Let me tell you, okay, look, we scored touchdown, all right? We scored touchdown to start the second half. And momentum. The stadium's going crazy. I think the team's rallying behind him.
They are, yeah. They said that, yeah.
It's making all the difference. And then I get hope. I'm sure you get hope. I'm sure we're like, oh, do we have a Tua on our hands?
Right.
Are we Alabama now? Do we have a backup quarterback who can literally swoop in, save the day, and win us the SEC championship? Well, maybe we got our hopes up a little too much, a little too early.
But here's the thing. Okay. Two things I wanted to say. I want to say. And by the way, as we are taping this, I'm looking at the college football playoff selection show on ESPN.
Okay. Of course.
So we'll kind of know. We know that Georgia will get a bye. They rank number 2.
Okay, well, yeah.
Currently. We'll get to
it.
I'm sorry. But anyway, all right.
Yes.
Okay, we won't use that.
Are we talking about Gunner or are we talking about what's happening?
I just want to say this. 2 things that come to mind for me. One is that every SEC team, and welcome to the SEC Texas, has a team that gives them issues. Yep. Alabama has been our nemesis.
Yep.
We had a record that was all of our losses over the last 2-3 years in those championship runs have been to Alabama.
Yep.
And the first one we had to beat Alabama to win the national championship. The only time we beat them, right?
Yep.
So I'm thinking what happened in Austin was so Alabama-like when we play them that I said, we might be what Alabama is to Georgia. We're that to Texas.
Yes.
And I think that was reinforced last night.
Yeah.
Fumbles that bounced our way. Things that just happen. And that always happens when we play Alabama. Tua coming in and the backup quarterback coming in, you thinking you got a chance, and he leads them to victory. That happened with us. Now, albeit he's no Tua.
Okay, Gunner is noTua because
with his legs,
right?
With his legs.
Running.
He kept things going. And in overtime, he was the one that got us close enough for
the hit heard around the world. That was not called targeting, mainly because so for those of you who didn't watch, Gunner again started the started the second half, gets us the touchdown. Cool. Eventually it gets tied up. Gunner still new. He's not necessarily built for this just yet. So
not only this, Armondi. They became very conservative in their play calling.
Yeah,
a lot of running.
Absolutely.
It's just that
they tried to lean on Trevor Etienne.
And
that's what beat Texas the first time, right?
And he came, luckily because he had been out for the last 3 games.
He was wearing a Kevlar jacket.
Because he had rib issues. Look,
right, exactly.
He took that upon himself that he was going to rally around and help to make this team win, and it really was on his legs.
Yeah.
That
you talking about
Gunner, but Etienne really, because we started leaning heavily on
running the ball,
on running the ball, and he had some breakaway. He had 30-something yard. So we were able to get a field goal.
Right.
They were matching the field goals.
Right.
They kicked one to tie it up at the seconds left. And it's just, to me, it is just fitting that in overtime, the 2 people who made that overtime happen was Gunner and Etienne. Gunner came in, got him close. There was a penalty, and then he got him close with that hit to the head. The helmet. Then he had to come out.
Right.
When he got hit in the head.
Look. Okay, the hit her around the world, okay? First of all, it wasn't called targeting because right at the impact, it's got to be the crown of the helmet. And I think the Texas defender who tackled him turned his head kind of at the last second so that it wasn't called targeting. I was like, oh, we're in there. Oh, this boy might have a concussion, but we're in there, right? Now, listen, after that hit, I said, get that boy in the tent immediately, okay? Because that man does not know his name. He does not know the date. He does not know where he is, okay? There's no way. Now, when he got hit, he jumped up and he put his helmet back on. He ate that hit. So listen, The boy got heart. Okay.
But they had to take him out because if your helmet comes off, you have to be out for a play.
Yeah.
And now here comes
Carson Beck.
Not the third string quarterback.
Yeah. Not the third string, right? Not the third string.
A quarterback. And I just don't. I have to watch the film. I have to watch the replay.
Run it back because
he doesn't have his throw. How did he get the ball from the center? His arm is limp.
He can't move his arm. He can't move.
So did he? Did he have one hand?
Or is his
right hand? Is his right arm?
His throwing arm. Okay.
Right. Was there just one hand under center? He took the ball because I know he handed it off at the end with one hand.
He handed it off with his left hand.
But did he get the ball from the center with his left hand?
Yeah,
because he couldn't. Both hands are under the center when you hike the ball.
All I know is when I saw Carson Beck come back in, I was like, oh, he's fine. I'm like, oh, he's fine. But then they were like, oh, nah, he can't move his arm. I said, okay, well, then how is he playing right now? I don't understand.
His hand dangling down.
Yeah, I'm like, can Trevor throw the ball? Can somebody do we
have a third string?
Somebody suit up. What's happening right now? Okay, this.
My thing is, they could have come out and had Carson Beck in a sling.
Yeah, so we go into overtime. Right, we go into overtime. Now, at the start of overtime, we're like, okay, we win the coin toss. We want to defend. Makes total sense. Our defense right now obviously is stronger than our offense. This is before Gunner gets hit, right? So, we stop them enough where they get, a field goal as opposed to a touchdown.
Right.
Cool. That means all we need is a touchdown to win. Or, a field goal to tie it up.
And go into a second.
Now, we know we're not going in 8 overtimes against Texas. Okay.
Right.
Not with an injured starting quarterback.
No.
Not with Gunner Stockton. Okay.
No.
Love the kid.
Well,
got heart, but it's not going to happen.
Breaking news. Breaking news. We are revealing now the college football playoffs.
Right. Long story short, we win the game, guys.
Yes.
Carson Beck hands it off to Trevor Etienne, who muscles his way to a touchdown. Georgia wins. It's a miracle. It is a miracle. Okay.
Yes.
You made the joke that after the game, Gunner was like, "Did we beat Alabama?" Because we don't even know where he is. Right. He's like, "Did we win? Did we beat Bama?" It's like we weren't even playing them, brother.
Right,
please get that boy in the tent expeditiously, please. But gladly he's okay. Hopefully we can get Carson Beck back.
Well, the blessing winning the SEC championship is 3 weeks off. We get a bye. It's 3 weeks off. So we don't play until I think probably in the Sugar Bowl in January. So that is what everybody hurt. Yeah. This is what Georgia needs. Let me just say this about this particular 12, and everybody knew 12 teams, 12-team playoff was going to be chaos, was going to be crazy. 3 weeks ago, Georgia was out of the 12.
Yeah.
Now they're number 2, and they got a bye. 3 weeks ago. All right, first ranking.
Okay.
Oregon's number 1. We knew
Obviously. They beat Penn State, undefeated, 13-0, I believe.
Yeah,
12-0,
13-0. Right.
That was a good game as
well. It was a good game.
That was a great game.
Georgia.
Okay, yep.
Number 2 seed.
All right.
We get a bye. We are number 2 seed in the college football playoffs.
We need it. Even Neil was watching the game, and then when we were talking about how we get 2 or 3 weeks off, Neil was like, good, because y'all need it for real, okay?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we don't play until the quarterfinals.
Nice.
I don't know. Again, they're saying that maybe those are the bowl games. It's probably going to be the Sugar Bowl, probably more than likely. But anyway, officially Georgia is a 2 seed.
Yep.
We are playing in the next 3 weeks. We have a bye, and it's just an incredible story. Everybody's saying, who would have thunk it? First of all, I didn't even know Georgia was in the SEC championship game until last week. I'm like, what? Right before we played Georgia Tech, I said, well, they're going to the SEC championship, so if they lose and if they win that, they're in. I'm like, wait a minute, what? I mean, because 3 weeks ago we were number 12.
Batting an eye.
We were number 12, and Boise State got in ahead of us,
exactly,
which kicked us out 3 weeks ago, and now we're the 2nd seed. So anyway, 10-2.
Okay, but
11-2 is our record.
Okay, but where's Alabama though?
Well, that's the question. Now we don't know because
it hasn't revealed it yet.
No, we're still in the top because the thing is this: if SMU won last night, which they didn't.
Shout out to Clemson. Shout out to my boy Dabo.
Yeah, Dabo was
that boy Dabo. Look,
Dabo was
one thing I love about Dabo is he always gonna give glory to God. Dabo,
I love that. Yes.
The whole time he's like, the announcer was like,
right.
how'd you pull it off? Like,
oh my goodness, Boise.
2 weeks ago, y'all weren't gonna make it. Listen, all glory to God when He opens doors.
That's right.
Up. Listen,
we walked right. That's right.
We walked through them. I said, okay, Dabo, amen. Okay, because I don't know how y'all did it, but y'all did it. So
So Boise State as the number 3 seed.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. Boy, the power. What is the group of 5? They're representing the group of 5 teams. They're the 3rd seed. Arizona State is the 4th seed.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Not too spread. The Sun Devils, right?
Yeah.
Well, they beat Iowa State yesterday by a good amount. Shout out to their running back. But
that's interesting. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Oof. So we got 8 teams left.
Okay, but you know what's so crazy? Is, and I've been hearing mixed reviews about the 12-team playoffs.
Yeah.
The whole idea of you win your conference championship game. That just means you get an automatic in. A lot of people aren't huge fans of that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that is true, but there's a caveat because Clemson won the ACC, but they're not in the top 4, so they don't get an order. They may get Clemson right now. Clemson's a 12th seed.
Yeah,
so that means
they were 17th before the game.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
So they're the 12th seed, and that means more than likely that Alabama is out. Well, here's the thing. No, it's going to be between SMU and Alabama.
Yeah.
Whoever is, SMU came back, almost beat them.
Yeah.
But their power,
they're probably going to give it to Alabama.
I mean, that's the problem, though. Alabama did not play; they sat back. SMU, they don't have a schedule as difficult as Alabama, but now you're penalizing someone for playing in your championship game, right?
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. Wow. That's why there's so many mixed reviews. I feel
Texas, Texas will be playing in the first round against Clemson. Ooh, that's going to be a good game.
No, it's not. Texas is probably going to win.
Oh, yeah.
So I probably give it to Texas. Yeah. But how would you ever think that Arizona State, Boise State would be in the top 4? Like, what are we? I mean, Georgia, that sounds about right. Oregon, but let's be honest, over the last couple years, not surprised. But what is happening?
Well, I think that what the committee wants to do is give that group of 5, those conferences that are outside of the ACC and the SEC, to give them representation.
Yeah. And
so I'm surprised that they are the 3rd seed in this, but it's going to be interesting to hear kind of their thoughts when they talk to people from the committee about why they put them there. Penn State is the 6th seed.
Oh, wow.
And so Penn State is in the bracket with Boise State. So it's going to be interesting to see. Texas is not in our bracket. They're in the bracket with Arizona State. So I knew that they weren't going to have, the only way we would get to play them would be in the national championship game.
Yeah, they didn't want to do that. Don't do it to Texas again.
Right. And they also are trying to avoid playing conference teams. Like if, playing 2 SEC teams or 2 ACC teams. So they're trying to mix it up. And, we're just going to call this our football selection special. I think we ought to just drop this as a different show.
It's already almost like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. For all you Texas fans out there, and now mind you, I have a really good friend of mine, Luis, coworker of mine, friend of mine. Hold on, Texas fan. But look, let me say this. This is your first year in the SEC. We were not about. I said, Georgia, do not let these boys come in here this first year and embarrass y'all and win it all. They got to get acclimated. They may be good, but We've been in the SEC for as long as I can remember, and we had to show them boys that the SEC is built different, okay?
That's right.
We might have had some hiccups, and y'all might have had 11-plus penalties, which somebody figured that out. Y'all got to come on, Texas. Ridiculous. Yeah, y'all weren't going to do it. Also, you saw that they didn't bring Bevo in to the stadium. They couldn't bring their mascot.
Oh, really?
In.
Really?
Yeah, because the last time him and he had beef. He charging that UGA.
Oh, that's right.
You're not doing that in Atlanta. You're not doing that on home turf.
No,
there's no possible way.
No, they won't do that.
We may be the away team, but you in the city of Atlanta. Okay,
right.
This is the SEC, and these are the Bulldogs. And you
ain't bringing no.
It ain't happening. Okay, it ain't happening.
Well, let me
Notre Dame.
Let me just say Notre Dame. Ranked 7th seed. They are in the bracket with Georgia. Penn State is now the 6th seed. They're in the bracket with Boise State.
Okay.
So Clemson will play Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, and Notre Dame. So now we've got about we only have 3 more teams left. Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee is going to play Ohio State, and the winner of that game plays Oregon.
That's going to be good.
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be good.
That's going to be a good game. SEC Big Ten, that's going to be a good game. So we've got 2 more teams left. That's going to be the 10th and the 9th seed. Tennessee is in as an SEC team. Texas is in. And Georgia are the 3 SEC teams so far.
We're just waiting to see. We're just waiting to see if them bums get in. You know what I mean? If them bums.
I'm just, that would be for me, But look here, Saban ain't there. This is a whole new deal.
Yeah, it may not even matter. It may not even matter, to be honest with you. What are they, 9-3? It may not even matter.
Yeah, they're 9-3.
Depending on who they play, it's not going to matter.
And look, no team has 3 losses so far in the bracket.
So that just goes to show you, if them boys make it in, it's a money move because it's Alabama.
Yeah.
And I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
So
and I'm glad we're in the bracket with Notre Dame because I would love to see Georgia play Notre Dame. We'll see.
I'll be honest. Based off of just how we've been playing, I'm scared to play anybody.
But but here's the thing. Here's the thing. We beat up each other in the SEC. SEC has a lot of. Indiana will be playing Notre Dame.
Okay. I love these live reactions.
My goodness.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, Indiana is the 10th seed, and they're going to be playing in our bracket. So the winner of Indiana and Notre Dame will play. Both of them have 11-1 records. Will play Georgia.
Okay.
So will it be SMU or Alabama as the 12th seed?
That's the only one that we're waiting on, right?
This is the one we're waiting on. It's the biggie. This is it. But to your point, we're going to see. I think SMU should get in. But
of course you think SMU should get in. So
look, they got them compared to resumes. Alabama's 9th, and their strength of schedule rank is 15th. That's SMU.
Yeah.
No, strength of schedule is 16th for Alabama, 60th for SMU.
Yeah.
Conference 5-1,
5-2 too. That's a big gap.
Win loss over 500 teams, 5-1 for Alabama, 5-2 for SMU. So based on that,
it's probably going to be Alabama.
But let me say, but let me say this: you should not penalize a team for losing in their championship game. That's going to set a precedent for teams not wanting to play. We don't have to play. Yeah, we don't get a bye just because you win your
penalized.
But just because you win your conference, like Clemson. If you're the underdog and you win your conference, you still don't get a bye. You're in, but you don't get a bye because you wouldn't have been in, period. Because Clemson right now is the only team with 3 losses. So here we go, folks. As we wait, and they're, look, they're stretching this thing out. And
of course they are. Of course they are.
SMU!
Oh, really?
Yes.
Alabama didn't make it?
Alabama is out.
That's crazy.
SMU number 10. They're playing Penn State, but the winner of that game will play Boise State in the quarterfinals. So there we have it.
Would probably be Penn State, but that's crazy.
So just very quickly, Oregon State 1, Georgia 2, Texas 3, Penn State, followed by Notre Dame. Ohio State, Tennessee, Indiana, Boise, SMU, Arizona State, and Clemson.
That is insane.
First team out, Alabama. Second team out, Miami. And 3 weeks ago, we were where Alabama is now. Have mercy. So here we go, folks. We will be updating you in, of course, during our year-end show, which is coming up around New Year's.
Absolutely.
So
this is exciting. Hey, look. All you Alabama fans out here, look. A bowl game's still good. A bowl game is still. That's still. Congratulations. That's. Armondi,
let me tell you. Did I tell you about? I was in the mall. I had my Georgia hat on.
Yeah. Tell the people. Tell the people.
So there are 4 cops standing up there in the mall, second level at Lenox Square, and I'm walking, and one of them looked at me and said, "Hey, you got that doo-doo stain on your he said another word, but that doo-doo stain on your cap." I was like, "What?" He said, "That G." And so he was a big-time Alabama fan, a little short guy, right? Yeah, it's always the short ones.
They got short man complex.
He just talking smack, and I'm like, okay, well, now I can't say but so much because they are cops.
Right, exactly.
So there was one that was a Georgia fan. We get into the discussion about playoffs and all of this. And then as I walked off, I said, it's okay if you don't make the 12-team playoffs because the Alamo Bowl is a pretty good bowl.
Yeah, that's right. And I threw the Alamo Bowl.
Look, I threw up my hand and walked on off, man. I dropped the mic.
There you go. There you go. Hey, maybe you should go back to Lenox today.
I know, right? Look for him. Yeah. With my hat on.
Right. Exactly. Man, that's crazy.
Anyway, that's a great way.
There you go, folks. There you go.
That's this is our special. We hope that you enjoyed it. I know, Armondi, you got a lot going on today.
I mean, so do you. But this was fun. You know what I mean?
We
had to talk about it. I mean, I'm not. Look. I'm not 100% happy with that performance last night from Georgia, obviously. But hey, a win is a win. It was a dogfight. Sucks to be a Texas fan. Definitely sucks to be an Alabama fan. But I couldn't care less. So we'll see y'all at the Alamo Bowl. We'll see y'all in the playoffs. Okay, in 3 weeks. All right. While we're well rested.
Yes.
And hopefully at 100%.
And
even pull off a miracle.
Even if Beck can't play, you got to remember that it was an injury that brought in my favorite quarterback that took us Stetson Bennett. So it was an injury.
Put some respect on that man's
name.
It
wasn't an injury. Right, to our top-rated quarterback, like Carson Beck, that brought in this gutsy, gritty, blue-collar kind of player.
I love the blue-collar. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
With his lunchbox that came in, his hard-hat and lunchbox, man, it came in and led.
I came to get to work. I came to go to work.
With a chip on his shoulder that bought Georgia, that came in and led Georgia to, albeit they had 2 years of a great team, but people played for him. I think then they played for Gunnar Stockton. And then here's the thing: Stockton is the same way. He's a big kid. He runs. He doesn't care about getting hit, obviously, because he got his head knocked off.
He does not care about getting rocked. That boy got rocked.
Sliding to nothing. He's diving.
Listen. He said, "I'm gonna eat this."
Right.
Man, that was crazy. He was to get that boy to the tent.
So anyway, we're excited. A lot to happen between now and then. Looking for a great month and a half, almost 2 months of college football.
And it's also just sad that this means that it's coming to an end.
Yes, but it's extended, right?
It is.
It's extended all the way to the 20th. So
this is by far for me. If you guys can't tell, my favorite sport to keep up with, my favorite sport to watch. I'm locked in. I like other sports, cool. But when it's college football season, once that ends, there's a lull.
Yeah.
It's like a dark cloud that just follows me around.
All right, well, thank you so much. Thank the Dangerfield Newbies. We use their music again and for our selection day
segment.
selection day special. Yeah, this is we want to put this on as a segment, but we're dropping this as a show.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's
almost as long as a regular.
Right. So you can tell that we are excited, but also look forward to our November show where we talk a little bit about the election and post-election drama and all of that stuff from Armondi's Island at his place, he and Nia's place in beautiful, beautiful Denver. You got this is a great view. And we talk all about that. So you'll get caught up that's probably going to drop sometime this week. We hope you enjoyed this bonus special as we bring to you the college football selection day.
Yeah, in real time.
And all I got to say is, go Dogs! Sick 'em!
hey, Pat McAfee said it best. You know what I'm saying? Who's that coming down the track? It's the Mean Machine in the red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious
Georgia fan. Right.
Go Dogs. We'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
And until then, I am Reggie the Boomer.
And you know I'm Armondi the Millennial. And we out.
We out.
Peace. SEC champions, boy.
Peace.